John received his BS in Justice Studies in 1994. John lives locally in the Valley with his family, very active in the community. He's a member of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Dean's Council as well. Welcome, John.
I got to tell you, that's hard to follow. This is going to bum you out a little bit, so lower your expectations immediately for me to follow that. What an honor to be here, but I'm going to start off giving you some bad news, and then I'm going to enlighten you a little bit and show you some positive news. Starts off with this: no one's coming to save you. In case you were thinking, you graduate tomorrow and the phone rings and you get the job and you're productive and your dreams come true. I hate to tell you, if this is the first time you're hearing that, I hate to tell you that. I'll take your complaint mail later. But the reality is, you got to go after what you want in this world. You have to take it by the hair, and you have to drive for what you want. And I just want to make sure we get that out of the way. I stumbled into ASU with no idea what I was going to do, or what I should do, or what my calling was. Everyone should give a shout out to their parents. Anyone have their parents here? My mom is here. Thank you, Mom. Right there. Marge Hunter, my wife is here somewhere. My wife, if you're not married, you will be soon. Don't screw that up. I'll tell you that right now. And again, what I'm going to tell you real quickly is going to help you. So, I run big software companies, helping manage and hire technical people, marketing people, services people. And if you ask me, well, what are you using that you learned at ASU? I'll tell you, it's all in this college. So the bad news is, no one's coming to save you. The good news is, it doesn't matter. You don't need anyone to save you. You have everything you need. This particular college taught me, with a justice studies degree, how to do one thing really, really well. Think. Solve problems. Now think about justice studies, by the way. There's not an easy day in that school, by the way. Everything in there is hard. And by the way, you want to make it even harder? Juvenile justice. They don't vote. No one cares. But yet we're all impacted by it. I got emotional to it. I had some of the best teachers in the world solving really complex problems. And if you want to ask me, what we're looking to hire is people who think for themselves, have a world view, who don't need to be led what to do, who ask questions, raise their hand. And if you apply these things and you take what this college teaches you, I'll give you some other examples. If you're saying, well, what else have I learned? Because this was my thinking. When they taught me statistics, I was told, what are you going to do with that? Psychology? Anyone take a psychology class? Huh? Has anyone ever gone, well, what are you going to do with that? Get a master's? I'll tell you right now, working for big companies all day long, two of your top subjects you're going to use is summary level data and influencing people. If you're not empathetic, self-aware, and self-control, if you don't understand the Johari window and how your brand really does work, you're not going to go far, and you have all those tools right now. Matter of fact, the number one investment large companies are building for their leaders is how to go back into academia and teach these leaders how to be great leaders. So think about that. So my idea here is come back from the future. What if somebody would have flown back in time when I was sitting here over on Mitchell Street right next to Casey Moore's? Is that place still here? Don't do that, by the way. That's not good. That's not a good connection to your grade point average. I ended up having to move further away from Casey Moore's. But I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't really know what to do, but I had a good mom. I had good friends and surrounded myself with people pushing me the right way. Find your exceptional talent. Find what you want to do. Let me give you some other attributes. One, you got to set goals. You got to set them now. Two, you got to get away from negative people who see the world incongruently with you. What do you stand for? What are your values? If you're around people who value things that are different than you, you got to move away from them. I know it's awkward. I'll do it for you if you want, but find people who value what you value and get around those people. Learning does not end here. Here's the other thing I would tell you that this university taught me, that my parents taught me, was if you're going to think that your learning ends here, you're really going to hold yourself back. And these rules apply to everything in life. My mom has a master's in English. My dad was basically a PhD in theology. And the one thing was learn, read. And then for your career, think about it in this way. Every job decision should be based on learning and then earning and then returning. And if you think about that, people today coming to me at this day and age, what should I do? Can you learn in your next job? Is your mentor going to teach you something new? Do you finding your own personal board of directors in your life? People that know you for what you are. I'll give you a small example. I had to speak at my brother's wedding. Anyone speak at a wedding? It's pretty intimidating, is it not? You want to know if you're good at public speaking? Throw yourself into public speaking. My brother went to Exeter. I had all these Ivy League kids coming up to my parents and saying, you know what? Your son is a good public speaker. I had never heard of that before. I didn't think I was a good public speaker. And I started listening. Listen to when people tell you what you're good at. Write it down. You hear it 3 times, it means something. It's part of your exceptional talent. Go find why you're so great. Don't let the world intimidate you, because it'll try. Everything you're coming out of here with, conditioning is all in psychology. You'll learn how the world will condition you. It'll teach you to back down. It'll teach you to be quiet. It'll teach you to fit in. No way. Not for this group. You've identified yourselves as leaders, which is a number one characteristic that I'm here for, how to develop leaders. And lastly, I think this generation is getting a bit of a bum rap. In case you haven't read anything on millennials and the next generation, anyone read any of this stuff on millennials? Because allegedly you're entitled, you don't work very hard, you're addicted to your phones. By the way, the phones are a problem. I want to talk to you very specifically about how cortisol comes out of your brain every time you're looking for those likes on your phone. We talk about it half jokingly, but the reality is we want you to go into the work world knowing how to influence other people. We want you to know how technology is powerful. You guys are making relationships all over the world. You're not after the profit. You're not after the bottom line. I think that's amazing. You want to really make a difference in the world. But at the same time, you have all the negatives with technology. And then most of your hiring managers have no idea what it means anyway. They're not on Snapchat. Facebook is a legacy app. And there's a gap there in the world. I'm hoping and I'm pleading, dedicating my time to find that you, the leaders in this generation, will bridge that gap. I'm thrilled to be honored. I love what ASU is doing, and thank you for your time today.